Alright guys, hello and welcome to the channel. Today isn't a night out, it's just a wee day out, and I'm out to trial pitch a new tent, which I like to do before I take it out live in the field. And the tent I've got today to try out is a brand new release from OneTigris, and it's the Coco Nest Hot Tent. I did buy this myself, so any review or anything I say about it will be independent and free of any tie-ins, but their stuff is generally spot on. As I say, hot tent, it's freestanding, which is a biggie for me. I do have the smoky hut, which you need a central pole for, and reasonably good ground conditions as well for pegging it out, because it puts everything under strain. So with this being freestanding, we'll see how it goes. It is a one-man tent. Comes with a stove jack, 3 poles, dome-like in shape, Coco Nest. Coco is a half-cut coconut. A bit like myself after a few beers, but I think that's why they named it. So we'll get it out the bag, see what's in it, and then do a trial pitch. It's sunny now, but it's been raining on and off. It was blowing a gale, that's why I've come into this wee bay, but it's quite sheltered in here. So I'm just going to find somewhere big enough for this, the footprint of this tent, which I think it may be 2.5 metres. But we'll find out as we get it out the bag, and we'll do some stats as well. So let's get this set up for the next, oh no, it's on, the next shower of rain comes on. Well, I think this spot is as good as any. Might as well try it here. Oh, that rain. I've got my waterproof trousers, but I'm not wanting to put them on yet. I'll be stubborn and take a soaking. Should maybe take the plastic bag off it first, but... Quick look at the bag. It's almost like a dry bag with a roll top and buckle at the top, but on the back of it, it's got these wee tensioners on it. Let's have a quick look at these pegs. See what they're like. I think they're 12 pegs and 6 guidelines or something. There we go, that's them there. That kind of profile. Lightweight. Just aluminium ones, but they do have the wee cord on them to help pull them out. There's a wee pointer on there to get your line on as well, which is quite good. Yeah, seem quite good. Quite robust, stronger than some that I've had. Now there's 3 poles, I know that much. All of equal length, but look at these. These are quite chunky, a bit like myself. But you can see that in the camera or not? I think these are 10.2mm, so these are some of the sturdiest poles I've got, I think, when it comes to a tent. So it gives it the 4-season rating, I guess. And there is a slight bend to them already, so they're kind of pre-bent. Well, since I've started on the poles, just have a good look at this. Now the poles are pre-bent. I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not, so they do form a kind of arch, which helps to a degree when you're creating the shape of a tent that this is. Don't know if you'll see that, probably not, but there is quite a curve on that. Doesn't matter how you turn it, it will drop down to form that shape, which is excellent. So we'll get 3 of these set up. Just like that, 3 poles. Plenty of room here. Time to get everything soaking. Hey. So find out where the front door is. There's the zip there. Might as well have the front door. Get it facing out that way, I think. A few things worth noting when you're pitching this tent. This is the end of one of the sleeves, and it's just a dead end, so your pole just pushes into this and then you pull it out with that. So on the other end of this sleeve, I'll just show you what's on the other end. This is the other end, there's the sleeve, so you'd feed it in from this side over to the dead end, and then the other end of the pole you put into this wee cup, and you can tension that as well, and this wee bit will to peg it out. So we'll see how that goes, and there is an order for these poles. I'll just show you that in a wee second. How good this will show in the camera, but as you can see, that's a sleeve there, it's complete. under there is another complete sleeve. This is at the very apex of the dome. And the third one is a broken sleeve. And this is the one that goes in first, so you've got to make sure this pole goes in first, so it's underneath the other two. Try this first pole. Get length of them. Half into the woods with it. And this is the one with the open section at the top there, so goes under the other two. And that's just led into that dead end. I'm going to do that for the other two poles, just feed them in to their dead ends. I'm not going to put anything under tension in the other ends as yet. We'll get these all in place. See how it goes. That's just a bit in there. Right, number 3. There we go. 3 poles, 3 sleeves. In fact, I'll just push the tent out a bit. And the good thing is, once it's up, I should be able to move it about before pegging it in. Just going to try and get these poles in as much as I can before I start bending the life out of them. No bad. Right, see how this goes. The shape of it. So I think I'll try and go with the pole that goes over the top like that. Try this one first. See how it goes. Man, that is going nowhere near. Try not to force it. Oh, probably wasn't right in at the end there. That's us now. Some tension in these poles. Slightly better, and what you should do is take the tension off these wee straps at the very start. Oh, it's better. There we go, that's one in. The problem was I never had that pole right into the end of the sleeve. It does get thinner at the very end there, it's tapered, so that was the problem there. Let's just check the rest of them. That's fine. That one's in, perfect. Again, I'm slackening off those wee tension straps just to give you the full length. I'll get the pole in. He's still over there. There's a wee look at the tension strap, so I've just opened that right up, and then later on you can pull that just to cinch it in a wee bit, and there's your pegging point. But some tension on it, so one more pole to go, and that shall be the shape formed. Again, slacken off this tensioning point. Even at that, that's quite tight. There we go. I have a tent and it's up. The good thing is, you can pick it up, place it wherever you want. I just noticed there's clips on these 3 poles with the cups at the bottom. No, sorry, it's just that one pole actually. Just this one pole, which is the first pole I put in, which is the one that goes underneath everything. With the split sleeve, so there's only one clip, the rest of them are all fully sleeved down at the bottom. There's one vent there, held out with a wee pole mounted on Velcro, and there is a mesh in there as well to stop the bugs getting in. Quite a big vent there, but there is a good overhang as well, so you shouldn't see any driving rain or anything get underneath. As far as the mesh, there's also these lines pre-attached on every pole, so there's 6 of these, and there'll be 6 guy lines to know whether they hook onto there or you tie them on, but aye, it'll be solid. That sits pretty good. It's not the best of ground, but it's like cracking. And as I said, you can just lift it up just now before you peg it down, move it about. That seems quite good. What I'll do is I'll fire in a couple of pegs just to secure it down, and we'll open it up because I think there's an inner, I'm sure there's another inside. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right, 4, we'll go for all 6 corners or 6 points to start with. I'll no bother the guy lines today. I'll have a look at them. I'm just going to do diagonal, corner to corner. I know you don't get corners and circles, but you know what I mean. Just make sure I don't put too much tension in that front door, because sometimes they're a nightmare to close. Right, that's all pegged out. Quite solid. And again, the guy lines is an optional extra. If it is blowy and you've not got your guy lines out, you usually should, but if you don't, you'll have this flapping about during the night, I suppose. But if it's that windy, you should be utilising these. The tensioners, reflective, nice brown colour as well. I think they're just open-ended, so you just have to tie them onto the loops yourself, but I'm not going to bother with that today. Just something else to get wet. But you get 6 of those, which will make that absolutely solid. Right, the big reveal. Velcro around the storm flap, which is good. Oh, don't know how many zips are on this actually. 1, 2, 3, 4 zips, which means, oh, that's exciting stuff by the way. 4 zips make this a very versatile front door. Oh, goodness. Right, fling that round there for now. Voila! Check this out. It's actually roasting here now, the sun's out that wee bit. But full half inner, absolutely cracking, and you can still have the stove in or not have the inner at all, like the other OneTigris tent I've got, the smoky hut. The zip stops over here on the left, so you need to go right round. It stops at the top there as well. Do this very quickly. Wee toggle tie back, and there you go. There's the inner. Bathtub floor. I think if I pull that a wee bit tighter, it would sit a wee bit better, but that'll keep the draft off you. The back panel is all material. Again, that would keep the draft off you. And obviously the front door is just bug mesh with these kind of panels as well. So not too bad for winter time. If that was a solid door, a wee vent at the top, maybe a wee bit better, but it does let you enjoy summertime looking outside the tent from inside with the bug mesh closed over if things are that bad and you need to escape the midges. Aye, it's not bad, eh? If you did want to remove the inner, it's just these wee toggles and then your wee clips at the bottom. So, but I'll be leaving that attached. Right, the stove jack. Trust to zip somewhere if I can find it. Oh, Velcro at the top. And a zip down either side. And it does roll down. A lot of these things you see roll up the way, which is quite good. This is rough, but it's a quick demo. Could do that 10 times better. Obviously, I'll be putting the stove in it today, but all tucks in. That hole there, it's either 60 or 70 mil. The flues come in, so that seems ideal. And this also comes out as well. So if you do need to cut or get a new actual stove jack insert there, you can take that one out and replace it. You can get a smaller one. You can cut your own crisscross on it, whatever you want to do, however you prefer. But no, that's ideal. Again, cracking rain shield round there for when the flap's up. Oh, that's cracking. Just put this back up while I remember. I'll zip either side to the top and secured that wee bit of Velcro. There we go, plenty of coverage again. Our storm flap, wee toggle there. But aye, that's ideal. Quite like that. Actually forgot to tension things up, so that'll pull the tent down closer to the ground, I guess. There you go, you can cinch that down quite far. But one thing I found with my TP tents, not the OneTigris one, but the Toplander one I bought, it sits with snow skirts and there's absolutely no ventilation in the tent whatsoever. So I think having a wee bit of air getting in underneath is absolutely required, especially when you've got a stove inside. Now I can't tell you the exact dimensions of the inner because I never brought a tape, but the tent itself, the outer is 2.6 metres. So there'll be at least 6 foot, 6.5 foot in here, and obviously the sides taper in and straight along the back, but width-wise, enough there for a sleep mat and stuff along the back there as well, so quite roomy, and you do have the other half of the tent as well to store things, so aye, ideal. Right, we'll get this zipped up for the time being, and then we'll go over some stats. Right, now that that's the rain on, I decided to come outside and we'll look at some stats, but we'll see how the tent handles the rain, and the wind's picked up as well. Anyway, height, most importantly, 1.35 metres or 4.43 foot, there you go. And the diameter of the tent, 2.6 metres or 8.53 foot. So substantial enough to sit in, move around in, get changed in, etc, etc. Another vital stat, the weight of the tent, 3.3 kilograms, quite weighty, and it's 7.3 pound that is, for those that work old school. Tent pegs, how many should you get? 12, 6 guy lines we've seen where they have to go, and obviously the 3 poles as well. But absolutely cracking. Getting a soaking in its first test, eh? That's the way to do it. Talking about soaking, let's have a look at the material. Now the waterproof rating for this is 3,000 millimetres, if that's hydrostatic head, whatever you call it, but that's quite good. That's the minimum I'd go with in any tent. I did see another tent from another manufacturer, but their one-man tent was only 2,500, so that's another reason I chose this one. 3,000 hydrostatic head or millimetres, whatever you want to call it. The outer is a 75D nylon, and the inner tent is a 75D polyester. So there you go. I don't know much about material, but that's what they're telling me, so that's all I can tell you. But that is absolutely solid, even without the guy lines on it. The ground's not the best, but for illustration, absolutely excellent. I could even give you the measurements of the bag that it came in. So when it's stuffed in its bag, it's roughly 21.7 inches or 55 centimetres by 7.9 inches or 20 centimetres. So there you go. For the size of the tent, it goes away quite compact. As you've seen, it's got those wee straps at the back. You can cinch it in a wee bit better as well, so that's quite good. Sorry I got distracted, just picking some brambles there. Whoa. Right, the front door. I didn't know it had these 4 zips on it, so if you've ever seen my video or seen me out in the Bobcat one, it's got a similar shaped door to the front, and it's so versatile. So what you can do, I've got 2 zips at the top here and one either side down the bottom, so even for getting in and out the tent, you don't want to muck about with the flappiness or try to throw it over one side of the tent. You can bring it down to that, you can flap it outside. If it's windy inside, you could do that, cook inside with your gas stove or whatever. If you've got the wood burner, it's not so problematic, but that can help create a wee windbreak. And again, for ventilation, you can have the door at any point you want. You can have the material outside, you can have it inside. Again, excellent for ventilation. And looking out as well without opening the whole tent. Absolutely love that feature. Now, put these at the top. What a zip noise in here, a bit of ASMR, whatever you call it. Now, you can also zip it up this way. And try and get them kind of equal. On this door, there's a wee webbing tab, hopefully you can see that, which would allow you, if you had 2 poles, sticks or whatever, to have that projected out like that, as high as you want, rolling back to the tent, down, whatever you want. But that is absolutely cracking. What a feature. For that, you can just hurdle your way into the tent, and that saves a wet flapping door hitting you in the face every time you're getting in and out. Best feature. There you go, how's that for a front window? One thing I have noticed is that there is not really any loops or hooks to hang your lantern on, but you could use this here, or off these bits, the zip. You could use that for when you're inside the tent, and that one when you're outside, so it's no the end of the world. In fact, it's probably not even a problem. Well, that's the rain well and truly on now that I'm ready to pack up. Now I've done my demo, but it's good to bring a tent out, get a feel for it before you start using it in anger and putting it to work. But absolutely fantastic, chuffed to bits of that. As I said, 160 quid off the OneTigris website. On Amazon it's 220 quid. And if you're paranoid about ordering from overseas, do what I did. Do it through PayPal, you've got the security there. You can do 3 interest-free payments as well, so the wife won't notice it getting siphoned out the bank account as much as the one hit. I think it's 53 quid, interest-free, 3 payments, just under 160 quid. As I say, still 60 quid cheaper than Amazon. So that pretty much finishes the first look of the tent. I can't wait to get it out, just to use as is or with the stove kind of thing, but we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I do have a trip planned for the weekend, and I've still got Tuesday to come of this week, so I might get out again, which will be tomorrow night. But let us know what you think about the tent, guys. Would you buy one? Are you happy with what you've seen? I certainly am. It's sitting quite well, sitting quite low to the ground. A wee bit of ventilation there. You can undo the toggles. I've cinched them up again, which draws it down to the ground, but if you free them up, you certainly get the ventilation. There is the vent at the back, as you've seen at the front door there. You can drop the front that down as well, so if it's dry, why not, eh? But absolutely cracking. Pegs are great. These tie-out points. One bit of cord tied at 2 points, but that will certainly pull the tent down. But it is solid, it is freestanding, as I said, and you've seen, which is another bonus for me. Front door's a bonus. The fact it takes the stoves as well, and there's no central pole. If you've seen me out in other tents with the central pole, the kind of teepee style ones, it's murder. You're dancing around that pole that you should be making money at it. And that's just trying to cook your food, man. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the first look, guys, and I'll do a better look, or a proper setup, and use it in anger over the next few weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next trip. Cheers.